What is up, vinyl community and YouTube world? It's Kendall, or the Spin Doctor, and his Vinyl Mayhem. If any of you are calling me that, doesn't matter. Anyway, coming at you with another video today. Today, it's another Sunday. I try to get these done on Sundays, just because it's a little bit easier. Still in my daughter's bedroom, but that may be changing hopefully in the coming weeks. We've been doing some redecorating around the house. Got rid of a piano that's been in my family for years. Big, heavy thing, finally gone. Sad to see it go because of, I've known it my whole life, but at the same time, it just takes up a lot of room. So anyway, that's gone. So some redecorating going around right now. So maybe just a few more videos in this room. I don't know, we'll see. But today I'm not going to actually show you any records or anything like that. I want to talk about Record Store Day, the drop that's coming this month on June 18th. Last I looked, there were only, I think, 83 titles being dropped. And for those of you that don't know, this is kind of like the backlog of stuff that had to get pushed back, or they just knew they couldn't get out by April. So some really good stuff though, and I wanted to talk about the stuff that I'm excited about and looking to get, and also a couple of things that I'm kind of on the fence about. Might be kind of cool to have. We'll just wait and see how things go when I actually go to the store that day. I will be again in Wilmington, North Carolina at the Record Bar for Record Store Day. So anybody that watches these videos that's out that way, if you want to see me, that's where I'll be. Be there Friday night hopefully with my buddy Chad Hovis and Jerry Stone. We'll see, I don't know, but I'll be there for sure. Anyway, like I said, there's only about 83 titles on this drop. There was, like 360, I think, on the first drop, which, is to be expected. But there were some really good ones that were on this backup date that I am really, really excited about, and I'm going to talk about them. So there are 3 that are like for sure's that I want to get, and then just a couple others that I'm like on the fence about. The first one is the big one for me. It is the Jerry Garcia acoustic band, Ragged But Right, I think it was called. Anyway, anybody that knows me knows that I'm a big Dead fan. Love Jerry Garcia. Last year for Record Store Day, there was supposed to be that Jerry Garcia band box set that ended up getting pushed to December, and I got one for my birthday. But this is actually an album that was released back in 2010, but it wasn't on LP, but it's from recordings from 3 live shows that the Jerry Garcia acoustic band did in 1987. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jerry had a lot of side projects, solo, just the Jerry Garcia band, which were phenomenal, but then he also had an acoustic band where he did bluegrass music. And sound phenomenal, great players, great pickers. I've actually listened to this album. I've streamed it. Sounds really good. I'm excited about it finally coming out on vinyl. It should be a good one. Let me look at my notes here. It's first time on vinyl. It's a Record Store Day first release, which means that eventually it will be released down the road in bigger quantities. Like I said, it's from the 87 tour. It's going to be a 2 LP set. Now, it's on Rounder Records. I can't remember which one it is, but that's actually the label that Billy Strings is on as well, which is kind of funny because there have been a lot of comparisons to Jerry Garcia and Billy Strings in the way that Billy plays, and his bluegrass is not your typical bluegrass. It's more of a, I don't even know what I'd call it. It's got psych, things to it. But I mean, really, really, really good. I love Billy Strings. But there's always been that comparison to him and Jerry Garcia, and which I think is really cool. I mean, and I think Billy likes that too. I mean, he always plays at least one Dead song at, I think, all of his shows, honestly. But anyway, I'm really excited about this release. Should be really good. It's called Ragged But Right, Jerry Garcia acoustic band. That's for sure one that I'm picking up. Another one that I'm really excited about is Pearl Jam's. It's a live album. It's called Live on Two Legs. Now, this was originally released in 1998, and trying to find this album now is next to impossible. But it was from their 98 summer tour, which, 98 was probably when one of the, they were at like the peak of their fame, which, I mean, they're really up there now anyway, but they were just, one of the biggest bands out at the time. And I looked at the track listing on this one. It looks really good. Pearl Jam's always been known for doing great live shows, and this was like one of the first times one of their live shows had been released, and so like a lot of people dug this album, and to have it released on vinyl is a big deal now. For this record store day, it's probably, if it's not the biggest release from this drop, it's the one of. I believe it's also a record store day first, so it will be released again down the road. You never know when they are going to do it for these, but I'm really looking forward to that one because, like I said, I'm not a huge Pearl Jam fan, but I do like them, and having a good live album of theirs, I think it'd be really good. I do need to pick up the MTV Unplugged one. I don't have that one. I do need to get that one eventually, but that's probably number 2 on my list. Well, actually, you know what? I would say that one may be number 3 on my list, because number 2 would be the next one that I'm going to show, or I'm going to talk about, and that one is called "Go Ahead, Punk, Make My Day." Now, this one's really cool because this was originally a punk rock compilation or sampler album that came out like 1996. And it's West Coast punk, so it's all bands from California. My wife, when she saw this one, she thought it was really cool. Like I said, this was actually released on CD in 1996, and it features recordings from Offspring, AFI, Guttermouth, The Vandals, and Jughead's Revenge. And I looked at the track list on this. It's awesome. But what's really cool about it is the splatter vinyl that it's going to be on. Looks really cool. The cover's really cool. And this is also, I think, a record store day first release. But normally when there's like a special like vinyl color for record store day, when they release it again, it's not on that special color. So it'll probably be the only time to get this splatter vinyl that looks really cool. So I'm excited about that. Really cool, great West Coast punk. I know my wife's going to be excited about this one, so that's a thumbs up for me there. But really excited about that one. Should be really good. Now, the next two I'm going to talk about are just ones that I'm kind of interested in, depending on pricing, and other things will depend on whether or not I decide to go ahead and get these. Again, it really depends. But the first one is called 50 Years of TV's Greatest Hits. And basically, it's a 2 LP of TV theme songs. And you're thinking, well, that's kind of boring, I guess. But it's all the way from the 50s into the 90s. So we're talking about classic TV shows that, I grew up on for sure. The only thing I don't know, and I'm trying to find out, is if they're the original theme songs from like the original artist when you watch the show, or are they redone? Do they even have the words? It doesn't really say, so I don't know. But it's a French import, and it's a 2 LP on colored vinyl. And because it's a French import, I honestly think it's gonna be the actual recordings. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know. But it just looks really cool. A lot of great theme songs are on there. Like, I remember I saw the A-Team was on there. I can't remember if Cheers was on there or not. Like Full House, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, MASH, a bunch, like I said, some ones from the 50s and the 60s. And go and look it up. It's a huge list. Like I said, there's like 50 of them, for crying out loud. That's a lot of theme songs. Now, granted, most theme songs are like a minute and a half, so that's why you could probably put so many on 2 LPs. But still, it's just kind of a cool thing. Like I said, I'm on the fence about that one. If the pricing's bad, I'm definitely not gonna pick it up. but it might be a cool one to have. This, I believe, is an exclusive. Let me check just to make sure. Yeah, this one's an RSD exclusive, so this one will not be reissued later on down the road. So if you want to get it now for sure. And the last one is Here Comes Fats Domino. Now, Fats Domino to me is one of the great 50s, early 60s rock and roll, soul, R&B, blues type guys out there. You know, him behind that piano just going away. You know, Elvis Presley once called him the real king of rock and roll. Coming from someone like Elvis, that's pretty high regard. But this is an album that originally came out in 1963. It was reissued in 1975 and never been reissued again. Never, ever. And it's being reissued on 180 gram vinyl. I believe it's purple vinyl. And it's also an exclusive. Won't be available. And they're only doing 1,500, which that is not a lot at all. I mean, when you think of the fact that the Taylor Swifts, they did 10,000 Taylor Swift singles for this record store day, and they were the first things gone. You know, when you're seeing them on eBay for outrageous prices right now. So the fact that there's only 1,500 of this. Now, granted, this is one of those titles that isn't for everyone. This is a specific, made for a specific person. I might be that specific person because, like I said, I do love Fats Domino. I don't have any of him in my collection. This isn't the greatest hits by any means, but there's some good hits on here. And you know, any Fats Domino album is really a great album. So to get this, like I said, I'm probably leaning more towards this one than I am the TV one. But again, pricing is going to make a big difference. You know, and then also, I mean, only doing 1,500. How many are the Record Bar and Wilmington going to have? I don't know. They only had one of a few different other ones in the April release, and I was lucky enough to get, you know, one. So you never know. But those are the ones that I'm really excited about. You know, guys, if there's stuff that you guys are excited about for this drop, I know a lot of people are excited about the Prince. I like Prince, but not enough. I only really like, I like a select few of his albums. But people are really excited about the Prince release, which I know they're releasing like 20,000 of those, I think. But, you know, drop me a comment. If you would, obviously like and subscribe as well. You know, thank you guys that watched my last video. It's so far my most watched video about the Eric Clapton Unplugged, which I think is awesome because, again, that's like my favorite. That's one of my favorite things to talk about is that album because I love it so much. I know I got a little bit personal there with it, with the story about my wife and myself. But that one's been the most watched, so, you know, I'd love to see more growth. My subscribers did go up since that video. I'd like to see more subscribers if at all possible. But you know, it's up to you guys. For the ones that do watch, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please, though, feel free to, you know, leave some comments as well. I've only gotten so many comments on my videos. Would love to see more. Love to hear your opinions, your thoughts. And like for this video especially, you know, let me know what you guys are excited to pick up in June. Or it is June, but let me know what you guys are excited to pick up on the 18th. Hopefully you guys won't be picking up the same stuff I am, so there won't be it, but you know. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys have a great summer, because summer is finally here upon us. And until I make my next video and see you guys again, keep finding awesome music to listen to because it's out there, all right?